So let's get into it because in my last video, the comments y'all left, we're going to talk about this whole article. Alex finally breaks her silence and what really happened with her and Tim. Let's get into it. Now, according to this article, Alex spoke about the things that we did not see on the episode. So we think that Tim just came out of nowhere. Some people feel like Alex was lazy. She wasn't putting in much effort. But let's get into what she said in this article with Vulture via US Weekly. Unfortunately, a lot of things have happened in the last 24 hours. Alex told Vulture in an interview on Friday that was his own decision. Tim is very strategic, as I've said before, on what he talked about in front of cameras, and I allowed that because he doesn't want to share something he doesn't want to share. So she respected that there were things on camera that he did not want to be shared. She wanted to give him some privacy, and maybe that was to her detriment because it made it look like Alex was a very passive person and that Tim had all of the control. She continues, but I will say if something bothered him, he would not address until after cameras were off. As we've seen in past seasons, people are trying to protect their image. They're trying to protect what we see versus what's really happening. And it's interesting that now that all this stuff is coming out and Tim is starting to get some backlash, it feels as though his first thing is to attack Alex, not take responsibility. So that says a lot about someone's character. The first thing I'm gonna do as a man, I'm gonna break you. Okay, I'm gonna make you see. Okay, you're gonna pay for the things that you have said, and all the things that people are saying about me. I'm gonna speak my piece. Okay, and sometimes it would turn into an argument because when you come from two different worlds, you might take things differently. Yes, as we have seen, I think Tim comes from a background with a lot of trauma, okay, a lot of grief, a lot of things in his life that have impacted how he shows up in the world, different relationships. Whereas Alex, I think, comes from a different background of more, um, their family seems a little bit more tied together, not by trauma. Tim's family, there's a lot of trauma there. Many of Tim and Alex's disagreements were not featured. Like I've said, I feel like there is more to the story than what we have actually seen, including one verbal argument on the vacation. Yes, what really happened? Okay, these cameras need to be there 24/7. Okay, if it's not gonna be a camera there, I need y'all to have a little confessional, a little phone, so y'all can record things because we really need to see what happened in Mexico. The Mexico argument is what was the beginning of the end. And I want to hear more about that. I want to see more of what actually happened. Let me know if you guys feel like the Mexico trip was the whole catalyst for the rest of their relationship, because it feels like Tim had resentment and Alex was never able to come back from whatever happened. And now she says that she did not put her hands on him, but let's get into it a little bit further. That was one of the things we were not compatible with, was him understanding that there are two people in this relationship. It is not just you on the highway, or your opinion is what matters. It's both. Okay. Yes, Tim is very dominating. Okay, even in this conversation, look at that plate of food, y'all. Look at that. But even in this conversation, he had his mind made up. Okay. I came here with an agenda. I'm done with you. He didn't want her to eat. Look at that. All them carbs, y'all. He didn't even want her to eat. I came here with an agenda. I'm done with this. It looked like this little pretend apartment they in. His stuff was already packed. And as much as she, tried to give him his space to respect that he didn't want to talk about things on camera, it really left her looking pretty bad. It left her looking passive. And based off my comments, y'all think she lazy, y'all think she passive. But I think in some way she tried to respect his boundary, whereas I think his boundaries are very black and white, very critical, very dismissive. And when you're with somebody who has that type of thinking process, you're never going to be right. You're always going to be wrong. Okay. It's really hard to be in a relationship with someone who has straight up black and white thinking. Okay. In Tim's social media allegation about the breakup, he also claimed that he felt manipulated by Alex's intentions. Okay. And she said that is not true. She did not manipulate him. All of that is not true, Alex stressed. I feel like there's just a moment because now we're starting to receive hate. Yeah, he's starting to receive hate. So he's like, oh, let me pull up the text messages, all of that. It's unfortunate because this is really a harsh world. And to receive any type of hate can be very intense. Yeah, the internet is a lethal place, especially on Love is Blind. They don't care that you are real people. Half these people are just trying to make clicks, money, dollars off of your pain. Okay. Even when this show is over, you have to, the people on here, the cast, they still have to live a life. While these, TikTokers, bloggers, they move on to the next person that they're gonna rip apart and make money off of. So let's continue. You just have to be mentally prepared. I don't wish that on anyone, especially him. See, she's still trying to come from a place of respect, whereas Tim is like, oh no, I don't respect you. Okay. However, I think the way he's handling it is not helping. It's not. It's just fueling people to hate her more, where there is wrong on both sides. Alex has since moved on, is now understanding that she and Tim were simply not compatible. They trauma bonded. Okay. Once they broke up, Alex returned Tim's bracelet. So you remember he gave her that bracelet that the gift that previously belonged to his deceased sister. At his insistence, that she recalled the moment feeling like a punch to the gut. So not only did we not see that part, okay, he came in there, he had an agenda, he said what he had to say. Oh, give me my bracelet back too. Okay, give me my bracelet, because I don't want you having nothing that is of value to me. I am done with you. Okay. Alex and Tim are no longer in touch. Duh. Did anyone expect them to really be together? I do not talk to him at all. So this is pretty much, the article. It really feels like there are a lot of things that were left unsaid. And unfortunately, you just have these two people from two separate worlds. And I think that Tim, I think he's going to do whatever he can to make himself look better. But I don't know if it's really, I think in some people's eyes, it is possible for him to look better, because some people still do not want to hold Tim accountable. Both people were wrong. Okay. Both people do not need to be together. And there was wrong on Alex's part, there was wrong on Tim's. But once again, there is so much left off camera that we did not see. The Mexico argument, the bracelet incident. And it was also said in the article that during filming, when they met the parents, let's get into that a little bit, because Alex also said that his parents drove there and they stayed for a couple days. Okay, so the day before, they went and spent time with her family and then went to dinner, and things were all good. Now, she was very hesitant about bringing more of her family into play because she felt like they were on shaky ground. And why you don't get your family excited? Oh, save the date. Alex is getting married when the relationship is not really on the best of terms. Okay. So she was already on shaky ground with him. And so the family was there. His family was there for a couple days, not just one day, y'all. Okay. And then also, there was a conversation about, like, hey, I'm going to take a nap. We've been filming a lot. I have other things I have to do this evening. I'm just very exhausted. I'm very tired. So a lot of that we didn't see. If we have seen that conversation, there was a lot of context left out of this whole situation. And the thing is, with these arguments, the internet also is very black and white. They're going to choose sides. They don't care about the gray. They care about what's sensationalized, what makes money, what's going to cash that check at the bank. And sometimes it's siding with Tim. Okay. But in relationships, you have to be comfortable with having gray. But this is just a little bit about this situation with Tim and Alex. There was a lot left on the carpet. I think Alex also said how Tim's mom said that Tim can be very closed off, similar to her, similar to his mom. They both share that quality of when they are not want to do something, talk about something, when they're feeling something, they shut down. And I think Tim has to work on that, because you can't be in a relationship where things don't go your way, you're feeling a certain way, and you just tend to shut down. You have to be able to work through and talk about those things. Okay. But these are my quick thoughts on this whole situation. It was not a mutual decision, according to Alex. Tim was done with her. Okay. And he got a little bit more nasty, and there was a lot left off of the show that we did not see. I wish we could have saw more of the arguments, more of the context, but instead, this is what we got, y'all. Let me know if y'all are looking forward to that reunion. We got some weddings coming up, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.